Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of the Daily BizLink Monday Mindset Series with Kate King. We are starting a brand new series on taking personal accountability. And in this first episode in this series, we'll be talking about taking action on receiving feedback. So Kate, thanks for being here.
Lindsay, thank you so much. It's good to be back. As you mentioned, over the next 4 weeks, I'll be talking about taking personal accountability. And this is really if you want to have greater happiness, greater wealth, better health, better relationships. It really all starts with you personally taking personal accountability for yourself and your outcomes, and you taking the lead. So what we're going to look at today, as you mentioned, is feedback. So a lot of my corporate clients are in that mid-year cycle. So it's June time. They're looking at, okay, what's mid-year look like? What do I want to do for the rest of the year? But one of the things is I'm now meeting my leader to receive feedback. So people who don't take accountability go into the meeting and the feedback is then given. People who do take accountability are really focused on what outcomes they're looking to receive. So a couple of things before I get into an action of doing that. And these are important things to remember. You know, when we receive feedback from somebody, it's actually through their lens. So through their senses, through their perceptions, through their belief system. So it's not really ultimately about you. It's really filtered through them. So when taking feedback or receiving feedback, it's really important to, number one, know that. And number two, take what you need from it. So what's your personal truth to that versus verbatim or that being a truth and fact? Because that's when we get into some of those belief systems that we're working through and establishing. So with that, with those two things to remember, the ability to take action here is as follows. And there's 4 key steps in taking action. So number one, be really prepared for this session. So what feedback are you seeking and what outcome do you want? That's not from your leader, that's actually what you want to receive. So going and planning it. So be prepared to lead the conversation. Talk about your strengths, talk about what really worked well, what hasn't worked well, and what you want to tweak. And with those tweaking, talk about opportunities that you have identified. Because that will have the conversation saying, I'm aware, I'm taking accountability for what worked really well, for what I need tweaking, but most importantly, the opportunities that I see ahead to be really successful in the next 6 months ahead. So once you've covered that, you then ask for their feedback on how they can help you devise a learning plan and a set of actions that you want to take to ensure that your opportunities become strengths and you have then a very successful year. So the last thing, the 4th thing is, what are you going to stop? So also discuss, based on your opportunities, what work you're going to stop so you can really focus and prioritize and put the right energy into having that rest of year be very successful. So those 4 things to remember in a 4-part series, lots of 4s today, but taking a personal accountability for receiving feedback is probably one of the best gifts you can give yourself for mental health, as well as ongoing learning and opportunities to grow.
Wonderful. Well, Kate, thanks again for joining us for this episode of the Monday Mindset.
You're welcome. Thank you.